Alright, timestamp May 28th, 2026. I've been up maybe an hour. Hopefully long enough for the coffee to get warm. About 7:30 a.m. I don't know if I already said that. Been playing and replaying Terminus. Which is a kind of dark Doctor Who episode for the Peter Davison era. Good ep. Well, maybe it's just me, but I find Turlo a very irritating character. Sarah Sutton, Nyssa, in that episode is fantastic. Ooh, might actually be hot. That should be some of the Aldi, French vanilla. I made a pot before I went to bed last night. Had a cup. And then went to bed. This is my cat, Hex, breaking the rules. I'm going to say hi. My seven-toed tuxedo. Yeah. You know you're not supposed to be up on the bar, right? Yeah. No. Come on. No. Not a performing monkey. Okay. And Janus right behind me trying to drip me. You guys tag team me and see what happens. Oh, man. So today, Pix must come over. I got a couple of high tickets that have got to go out today, eBay-wise, which you know, that's a great problem to have. Because it means we've got bills taken care of. Health-wise, a little shallow breathing-wise, but I think it might be panic attack oriented. I've been thinking about my dad a lot. I'm going to let the dogs out, because, good God, man. Okay, we're going outside. My UX. Yeah, I'm working on it. I've got about 6 sales to go out today. Not all of them were, 500 or more, but a couple of them are. Not a lot of love on the Beanie Babies that I put up so far, which makes me sad because I'm very motivated to sell the Beanie Babies because, fairly certain we have around 12,000 of them, so yes, please, 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 please. Just one of the many monkeys that we are in fact burdened with. And I know there is going to be at least one person that's going to say, you have a product to work with, that's great. To which I would say, yes, and also when it's kind of dead stock, if you know the retail term. Is it a blessing? And, you know, you can make the argument either way, right? See if the ones that I just recently listed have gotten any views or watchers or whatnot. I hadn't checked yet this morning. I'm yeah, a couple of views, no bids, no watchers. Not optimal. I will remain optimistic. But yeah, no Pix has got to come over because I got to ship these things out. As soon as I get done with this, that's what I'm going to start doing, is prepping, packing, getting them ready to go out the door. I've already got a couple of them ready to go out the door, but I need to, you know, get them all ready to ship. Something in my eye. That wasn't me announcing that I'm a hostage. I've got something in my right eye. Sleep. I don't know. My family always called it sleepy dirt. I don't know. It's probably the baby name for it, but, you know. Going over my list. Gonna fry up some of those chicken patties, I think, for lunch for everybody. I've gotten a big 8-pound bag of like chicken breast patties. They're not breaded or anything. They're like the kind you'd get like in a grilled chicken sandwich. So I'm gonna pan fry those in some olive oil, probably some Italian seasoning, and I'm thinking I've got hamburger buns, but I've also got some Hawaiian bagels. I think they'd be amazing on that. Maybe with provolone. Yeah. Be a pretty decent lunch. You're going to finally get down from the bar. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, go get some kibble. And Janus hops right behind him to the garage. Yep. So, yesterday I did some basic chores around here. Laundry, dishes, swept, mopped, a little bit of eBay. I took a shower. Yeah. You can check out my OnlyFans for that. Chatted with Fun Size a little bit. Chatted with Bixie a little bit. Got a Walmart order sent out to her. And didn't do much else, honestly. Yesterday was kind of a nope day. You have nope days? You know, where you look at your list and you get a couple things done on it, but for the rest of it, you're just like, nope. Nope. I'm allowed to have one of those every now and then, right? And not feel guilty the next day, which I already do. No, I did do a lot of food prep too, though. Cut up like 6 pounds of chicken, made some chicken strips, some chicken cubes. Basic stuff. You know, for the most part. Played some video games. Doing our Rabbit of Seville mug this morning. Some classic Looney Tunes action there. Watched a fair amount of Ink Ribbon videos on YouTube. Ink Ribbon. He's a Resident Evil YouTuber. He does a lot of like top 10, top 25 lists and things like that. Some good stuff. also a huge Outbreak fan who wants to see them do a redo of the Outbreak and Outbreak File 2. And it would be swell if they would actually go ahead and because I guess, and I'd heard this, and he's confirmed it in a bunch of his videos, they had talked about doing an Outbreak File 3, and they had some concept stuff down, but File 2, they didn't market it well. It didn't sell well, and File 3 got abandoned. But I'm hoping with Requiem, which is, I guess, 9, came out in February. So the gist on this, just so that you know where my head is, and just to give you some insight, your main character, your character in the game is Grace Ashcroft, who, and I haven't played it yet. I'm trying to dodge spoilers, but I know a little bit. Grace Ashcroft is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft, who is one of the playable 8s in Outbreak. Because Outbreak, well, actually, there's a lot more than 8 playables if you unlock things. But you start out basically with 8 characters that you can play. You can play as through the various scenarios. And on my Outbreak clock over here, that's Alyssa. And George and Cindy and David. Alyssa is a reporter. And to me, she always reminded me of like a blonde Gale Weathers. Uh-oh. She's just kind of that almost cutthroat investigative reporter. Oh, both are here. All right, fellas, come on. Get your butt in the door. There you go. It's a little butt. It shouldn't be that hard. All right. In the words of Eddie Murphy, beef jerky time. Gently. You ready? All right. I like those beef jerky sticks. Bag treat from, these are from Aldi. Walmart has a similar one. They're actually pretty cheap. You can get like a big pound bag or whatever for like $5. And with these two, I split it. Acorn gets like 2/3 of one, kind of going by size here. And Tannhauser gets the remaining third, and he jumps for it like a circus dog. It's just freaking adorable. That wasn't a I'm gonna make him perform thing. That was the first few times that I was starting to hand it to him, he would leap into it, and I realized that that's actually something he kind of likes to do. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll do it this way. But yeah, no, you play as Grace. It's a Bogart movie. You play as Grace Ashcroft. But her mother is Alyssa, and there's some like end of Raccoon City flashbacky stuff that I saw in the trailer that I saw for the game. So I'm hoping that, because I know the game's doing pretty well, and a lot of fans are saying it's one of the best games they've done, and that they've gone kind of back to their survival horror roots, which makes me happy. I liked 4, I liked 5, I liked 6, but I'm kind of an old school fan, and I don't necessarily, if I want to play Call of Duty, I'll play Call of Duty. You know what I mean? If I want to play a survival horror game, well, give me a classic Resident Evil style game. Or I'll play some Silent Hill. My first survival horror game was actually Alone in the Dark on the 3DO, which was a game system that was really ahead of its time. Google it. Mismanaged from the beginning, but the tech on it, it was ahead of its time. But yeah, I played Alone in the Dark. And then I found my way to Clock Tower and was like, this is cool, man. You can play a horror movie as a game. That's pretty cool. And then Resident Evil came across my radar, and I went, oh, okay. Oh, 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 oh. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 0, Outbreak. Give me something like that. And I haven't played 7 Village. I haven't played those yet. I hear that those are... I have them on Steam. I just haven't... Number one, I don't know that my PC will handle it right now. So that's another thing. Once everything... once the tower has fallen and I'm able to actually... it's like a tarot card reference. The whole tower sitting out there. If you know, you know. Because I'm waiting for this tower. Not like a, come on, tower, but I know it's coming. That's that phone call that I keep expecting. The card reference is kind of the Tower of Babel and the destruction of everything, but it wasn't built on a firm foundation is the concept of the card. Once that happens and I have better finances to work with, I'm going to contact Mr. Bovine. I'm not sure what to call him on here. He's a friend we've had for a very, very long time. And he's built all of our PC rigs before. Just a brilliant and nice dude. Brilliant when it comes to like hardware design and whatnot. He's actually designed some pieces of hardware. And he's my friend. But yeah, I will say to Mr. Bovine, what parts do I need to get you to build me a terrifying Mac Daddy group of systems? Because I'm going to be getting an upgrade for my girl, possibly both kids. We will all have PC beasts. And then I'll be able to like run some of these games. I could probably run it on this one if I shut everything else off in my system. Because even though it's a couple years old, it's like 3-4 years old, it was still built to be a powerhouse then, which means it's still at least serviceable now, if that makes sense. You know, yesterday's Porsche is still a very fast car. It's probably a horrible example because some of yesterday's Porsches are really fast cars. It's a 959. Yeah, no big deal. Doesn't do much. But I've heard with 7 and I think 8 that they got back to their survival horror roots, which makes me happy. I'm hoping with the popularity of 9, because again, I'm seeing a lot of game critics that are like, this is one of the best games they've ever done. Oh my god, you know. I'm hoping that enough of us crazy older fools that are like, bring back Outbreak. You've redone 1, 2, 3. Oh, Code Veronica, another good survival horror entry into the franchise. You know, you're redoing... I don't think they've redone Veronica yet, and I don't think they've redone 0 yet. No, I think they did do 0. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look. See, I've been getting all these things when they run them on sale, like on Steam. They'll do like packages and stuff. I've been acquiring them, but waiting for that day when I can actually sit down and play and have, you know, the time and a PC that like can handle it. But I'm hopeful that with enough of us old school players screaming for Outbreak remakes, and enough newer players that go, this is a cool game. Alyssa Ashcroft, there's apparently a backstory here. How can I play those games? New players being intrigued by it. I'm hoping that the gentlemen and ladies at Capcom will go, maybe we could remake those. I know it's all about, the Benjamins or the Yens or, the Koku or the Wampum or whatever, but I think you'd actually make the Benjamins on that because of the old school fans that are crying for it and the newer players that are probably at least intrigued by... Okay, so Alyssa was part of... the gist on Outbreak is it's pretty much you're not a super cop or anything like that. You're one of the starting characters. Kind of 8 everyday peoples of Raccoon City who wake up to a very bad day, Alyssa's a reporter, Jim is a subway worker, David's a plumber, and so they do bring some of their own interesting skills to the game. They have their own little niches that they can do, which is cool. Kevin is a cop. He's the closest thing to like a more traditional Resident Evil character that you've got, with maybe the exception of Mark, who's a security guard and is a ex-veteran. He was a Vietnam vet. He's also probably the oldest in canon playable character they've ever had in a Resident Evil game. He's like in his 50s. He's my age. Big Mark Wilkins, big like 6'2" teddy bear black guy. He's got a wife and a kid. He just wants to get home to him, Neat character. And he's also like the strongest one. The guy's... he's a moose. He's a moose. He's a big teddy bear. But yeah, no, they've got 8 characters that are just like, the people you would meet stepping into an elevator. I mean, my favorite characters to run are Kevin, who is the cop, and Cindy, who is a waitress. Yep, Cindy, waitress, and amateur herbologist. Jim annoys the hell out of me. In case there are any Outbreak fans watching this, Jim and his shout-outs and stuff like that, he annoys the hell out of me. One of his big things is he can basically play dead. It's like some kind of possum ability where he'll like faint, like, and lay on the ground like he's dead. And the zombies tend to like walk past him and not try and eat him. He's just the whiniest character. Okay, if you're a Resident Evil player, he's whinier than Steve. And we all love Steve, don't we? If you know, you know. Yeah. Steve is a mute compared to Jim. And maybe George might be in the category of a not crazy Resident Evil character, because he's a surgeon, he's a doctor, and he does have a background in virology. So if you were playing as a character that were, like an Umbrella character, and he's not Umbrella, he's just a doctor, but from a like classic Resident Evil character standpoint, I could see he and Kevin and maybe Mark kind of fitting the bill out. These are the kind of characters you would normally see as playable characters. You know what I mean? Yeah. The rest of them, though, maybe Alyssa being an investigative, journalist, but quite a few. Most of the 8 characters are like not your typical heroic survival horror characters, concept-wise. David King, plumber. They're about as heroic of an evil undead warrior as like Ash at the beginning of Evil Dead. It's not. You're not going to look at that guy and go, "That's our champion right there. That guy." Yep. Yep. Ashley Williams. He's the dude. No. Nope. And I love the Evil Dead movies, mind you. I don't remember if I did this one or not. Looking at the Colbert questionnaire, because I was going to start going through that just for kicks. I can't remember if I did number 3 or not. What is the scariest animal? For me, I'm just going to throw it in here in case if I already did it. Sorry. Shark. Because I swim like a rock. I try not to put myself in those positions to where I would be, in shark range, but SeaWorld's as close as I come. I don't go on big boats and stuff. I don't do cruises. Nope. Nope. If I can't see land, I think it's called thalassophobia. Thalassophobia. And it's not so much a fear of big bodies of water. I mean, it kind of is, I guess. So much as I know that if something bad happens, I'm dead. Because I'm not a good swimmer. I'm an adult puddle. Swimming pools, cool. Worst case scenario, I can walk to the shallow end, hopefully. Yeah, nope. So yeah, if I wind up in the water, alligators and crocodiles likewise, they will have their way with me. Suddenly heard like a soft saxophone playing in the distance. What was that about? And on the possibility that I did that one already, number 4, apples or oranges. That's tough. I've never been, because honestly, from a citrus standpoint, oranges are cool. I'm a much bigger fan of tangerines. I love tangerines. I could eat those things all day. Apples, they're okay. My favorite fruit is a pear. I love a good pear. Yeah, but no, seriously. A nice round pear. You gotta be careful where you say that, right? Hi, Kaiser. You just do something horrible out there? I'll bet you did. Yeah. Apples or oranges? I mean, if you said pears or tangerines, I'd still go with pears, but neither choice in that listing there is like, man, I gotta have them. Yeah, I like pears, I like bananas, I like tangerines, and anything berry. Blueberry, berry almond, blackberry, raspberry, any strawberry, any berry. But yeah, apples or oranges, it's like, can I have alternate choices? And if I had to choose, I'd probably say apples. And I know the Colbert response, if you can't put peanut butter on an orange. I don't typically put peanut butter on an apple either. But I'll, bake it with some honey and cinnamon. But if you give me a glass of orange juice, I'll drink that down too. So, but many years ago, I got more into drinking pineapple juice when I can get it. I love pineapple juice. And it's really good for the throat too. So I'm probably going to try and start implementing that a little bit more too, just because trying to do maintenance on my voice and all that. Pineapple juice, and apparently strawberry juice is really good for it too. Good for throat maintenance. But pineapple juice, I could drink that all day long. It's expensive though, is the thing. You know, like a 1 liter container of it can be like $5 and $6. That's like, damn, killing me, Smalls. But yeah, scariest animal, shark. Because I did actually drown as a kid. And I don't know if I mentioned this before or not. If I did, I'm so sorry for the rerun. But I'm not a good swimmer. And my mom had given me one of those styrofoam floaties. It's like a melon, and I wear it on the back. And anytime I went in the water, because it's buoyant, it would like poke me in the back of the head because it would like ride up my back. So I thought, you know, I'm done with this. And I tried to swim in the pool without them. This is years ago. I don't remember what pool it was. It wasn't at our house or anything. It might have been like at a hotel or something. And true story. I remember flailing in the water. I remember not doing well with it. And the next thing I remember, I was watching my brother basically give me mouth to mouth on the side of the pool. I was kind of over them, over me and my brother, watching it happen. And then I like woke up, you know, spitting water out of my mouth. So I think they classify that as a NDE. I had one. So, and I respect the fact that I'm not necessarily a great swimmer. It's something I would like to work on. But I haven't really had time. And I don't want to upset the frogs. They seem to have a pretty good habitat going on right now. Eventually that will get cleaned and be used for, you know, human recreational purposes, but for now it's a very good frog spawn point, which I'm actually okay with because we've got a lot of mosquito spawn points in the area. So if I can grow my own army to help combat that for the moment, cool. Cool. You know what? Eat up, boys. Eat up. Get them all. Because I'm O positive and they're certainly going to try and get me. I still maintain there's something there. I think it's something to do with the protein count. It's a hunch. It's a theory. Alright, it's a hypothesis. No, I think it's probably a theory at this point. Because almost everybody that I've talked to that is like O blood type, when I ask them, so I've had this conversation with a few people, you know, the subject of mosquitoes will come up, and somebody, like a friend of mine, Foxy, and, you know, he was like, man, it's so annoying because the mosquitoes go for me. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, there can be 5 other people in the room. They won't even notice that mosquitoes are there, and I've got 10 on my arm. And I was like, are you O blood type? And he's like, yeah, I'm O positive. Why? I was like, okay. He's like, why? I said, because I have the same history, and I'm O positive. And I've talked to a young lady who was O negative, had the same thing going on. You know, her boyfriend thinks that she's crazy because she's over here doing, you know, some kind of a spasmodic dance. And he's like, everything's fine. And I'm like, what's his blood type? And she was like, I think it's AB. I'm like, yeah, okay. And you're O negative? Yeah. I don't know if anybody's done a study on that, but I feel like mosquitoes are actually attracted to, I mean, animals can smell food, right? They smell their food source, so why not? Something about our blood is more tasty, I think. My wife is A positive. For every one mosquito that hits her, I've had 19. If I'm there, they don't notice her. They're all coming over to say hi to me. It's got to be the blood type. It's their food source. You know, is Homer going to go for the cheeseburger or the liver and onions? They're both meat. They're both meat. But you already know, cheeseburger. You already know. No, I did not just call my wife liver and onions. Okay, kind of, in the metaphor, but you get it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Yeah, because even if you say pears or tangerines, that actually gets tough. Pears. Yeah. Apples or oranges, though. It's the wrong choice for you to hand me, you know. Neither? They're both... Yeah. Man. Anyway, so I'm gonna get busy on my stuff. Outbreak remake, come on, guys, come on, do it, do it. And with what you can do technology-wise, Outbreak was already kind of ahead of its time. Number one, you're going to make some money. Number two, you're going to make your fans real happy. Because even your newer fans are going to be like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, the original, I guess, came out when I was like 3 years old. Oh my god, this is awesome. And check out the guy's videos, Ink Ribbon. Definitely a fan. And he's a huge Cindy fan too, which I think is funny. But yeah, Cindy and Kevin, because I know I've got at least a couple people who watch my videos every now and then that are going to be like, who'd be your number 3? I have been known to play George. I have been known to play Alyssa and Yoko. I don't play Mark that often. I do not play Jim that often. The only time I ever played Jim back in the day was when I had to do it to, like, get certain achievements done. He annoys me so much. Who am I missing? Oh, and David. David's okay. David's okay. But yeah, Jim, oh God, make him shut up. Even Alyssa can be kind of caustic with her shout-outs, but yeah, not as bad. Anyway. Here's what I'm thinking. It's stuck in there. So yeah. Hug your parents as Kaiser screams at a door. Wants Tiny to come out and play. Hug your kids. Parent and kid action going on there. Make it a great day.